Hello, good morning. Our top story then, hate not welcome here, was the phrase heard at counter-protests across the country as thousands of anti-racism demonstrators gathered to protect places under threat from far-right rallies. Shops were boarded up, immigration law firms shut, and about 6,000 riot-trained police drafted in after warnings of more than 100 far-right rallies. But instead of the violence seen over recent days, streets remained mostly calm, as our People and Politics correspondent Nick Martin reports.
They'd braced themselves for a night of trouble, but in the end it was a largely peaceful evening. Here in Liverpool, they'd boarded up the windows of this asylum centre, fearing a protest by far-right groups would descend into violence. Instead, it was surrounded not by those who wished it harm, but by those determined to protect it.
There's a lot of people in the community here who, feel a lot of anger, a lot of fear, and I think there's the sense of the community where they've had enough. There's also a sense of distrust with the police. A lot of people don't trust the police to defend their neighbourhood, and that's why a lot of them have come out.
Black and white, unite and fight!
It was a similar story elsewhere. In Birmingham, anti-racism campaigners marched through the streets.
We've got people from all walks of life. This is what reality looks like. We don't want their reality. We want this reality, because this is about peace, love, unity and harmony.
In Bristol, hundreds gathered to repel the planned protests by far-right led groups.
This is how it should be. Everyone should be united together, all as one.
Yeah. How do you feel about the scenes that we've seen over the last week or so across the country?
I think it's disgraceful, yeah. Absolutely disgraceful, yeah, and it needs to stop.
In Brighton, the feared disruption didn't materialise. The far right did turn out in much smaller numbers than expected at a border force agency in Portsmouth, blocking a road before being moved away by riot police. And thousands of anti-racist demonstrators gathered at an immigration centre in Walthamstow. No clashes here. It's hard to see how anybody could even get remotely close to this building to do any kind of damage. This community has turned out in their hundreds to mount the most extraordinary defence of this former church. It could have been the threat of stiff prison sentences handed out to previous rioters. It could have been the increased police presence. If the far right were here, they didn't show themselves. But that is not to say that this is over. Nick Martin, Sky News, Liverpool.